Thank you. It's okay? Can I use this one? Yeah. Thanks. It's a lot easier to use that one first. So, thank you for waiting for me. Apparently it's my fault we've started late. That's the first in the history of these awards and in the history of me as a moderator. So, distinguished finalists, dear guests, dear audience, all of you here live in this room, the Castle of the Counts in Ghent, this stunning place, and of course all of you who are joining us online. Thank you so much for being with us. We are of course here to celebrate the 2022 European Mobility Week Awards, hosted by the European Commission, Directorate General for Mobility and Transport. Now, I've had the pleasure of presenting this award literally since the prehistoric era, and I mean that. So, is there anyone in the audience who knows who I am, who has seen me before? Oh, blimey. Okay. Sorry? Oh, that's a while back then. That's pre-2018. My God, you're observant. So, my name is Katrina Sickle, and I am genuinely privileged to be presenting this award ceremony for something like the 13th year running, and it is literally the only one that I have been involved in for more than a decade, and I promise you it remains my favourite, and I don't say that at every ceremony. And of course, the Car Free Initiative, which is the culmination of the week itself, is something that I personally take part in every single year in Brussels, and I'm always moved and impressed by the passion and the commitment and the energy of everybody, finalists and winners alike. Now, you may know, you should know, if you've been looking at the website, that almost 3,000... I'm being upstaged. Who is that? That wasn't you, Madeleine, was it? No. Okay. You were looking like a little bit, but it wasn't actually you who's phoning up. That's very nice. You were doing that in appreciation. I should have said that, actually. Make sure your phones are on silent. That was a special reminder that we did deliberately. Thank you so much. So I've just got that person out of a hole. Almost 3,000 towns and cities organised European Mobility Week last September. 51 countries in Europe and beyond. So really warm thanks and huge congratulations to everybody. And I am also looking again online. And don't forget, for those of you online and for those of you who are here, do spread the joy on social media. #MobilityWeek. It ain't hard. Okay, so please, maybe we can get it trending. Now, time is of the essence. That's it from me. Somebody much more important is going to come to the stage. So it is with great warmth and excitement that I now welcome the Mayor of Ghent, literally my favourite city, Matthias de Clercq, to join me. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in Ghent, the most beautiful city of Belgium and Europe. We are convinced of that. And welcome in one of the most special places in the heart of our city, the Castle of Counts. And it's hard to believe, but the city once intended to turn this castle into a car park. And this says a lot about how people used to think about mobility, or rather didn't think. Want cars were a holy cause of modern society, and people parked their cars on the beautiful squares and quays of our cities. And waterways were covered. Now we open the waterways, of course. Motorways were constructed to lead people straight to the heart of the city, and even the Gas and the Korelij, 2 minutes from here, which are now tourist hotspots, were nothing more than a simple car park. The jewels of our city, the 3 towers, were covered in black suits. Fortunately, the way people think about mobility in and around our city has changed considerably. And Ghent has always been, and I'm proud of that, a pioneer in terms of mobility, as we evolved from having no policy to having a very progressive policy. In the late 1980s, the city was already creating car-free zones. We were the first city in Belgium to encourage its residents to walk around in our city center. And it was 1993, we were the first city in Belgium to develop a true cycling plan, and 4 years later, we introduced our car-free city center, which at that time was the largest in Europe. So Ghent always a front runner in these kinds of things. And the message was clear: cyclists and pedestrians have priority over public transport, and cars come last. And this was, I think, a turning point for our beautiful city. And as usual, these changes were met by protests, by rumors, started floating around that doing business and living in the city would be impossible. But nothing could be further from the truth. Trade in Ghent flourished as never before. And visitors to our city loved and still love to wander around, to enjoy public space that has been freed up. And our city once again became a place to meet people. And this is proof that making decisions pays off, that you need courage, you need perseverance, and that's what we have shown, I think, as a city. In 2017, we took another major step by implementing our circulation plan, which has made through traffic in the city center impossible. We also doubled the size of our car-free zone. And this initiative, again, boosted the number of cyclists in the city, and you see that in the city. You feel it when you walk around. Public transport ran much more smoothly, and the number of traffic accidents decreased. But most importantly, Ghent became even a much more pleasant city, a city where you can go for a walk, cycle around with your kids, where outdoor cafes pop up wherever you look, more terraces also, more public space, where we transformed car parks into green oases of peace, most of the time, and quietness. We are therefore delighted to host European Mobility Week Award ceremony this year, which is centered around the topic safe energy. Ladies and gentlemen, a city pushing a sustainable mobility policy is by definition an energy efficient city. It goes hand in hand. And you don't need any other energy sources but your legs to walk, to cycle around. And we would like to elaborate on that. We are currently working on the implementation of neighborhood mobility plans in the outskirts also of Ghent. First we did the center of Ghent and now to the outskirts. The neighborhood mobility plans in the various neighborhoods around the city center. Because dense neighborhoods where a lot of people live, where children go to school, where there is a lot of local trade, we also want to make a difference in these kind of neighborhoods by reducing through traffic so we can give the street back to our residents. Cycling is obviously not our only priority. Not every transfer can be done by bike, and there are also people who are not in the ability physically to cycle. So car sharing is therefore an important aspect of this initiative. And Ghent, yes, Ghent, is the Belgian leader in terms of car sharing and also plays a pioneering role in Europe. So I wish you a very great night. I have to go to the City Hall. It's a pity because I want to stay here, but I have a big debate in the City Hall this night about some teams. I won't bother you. So I have to go. Have a nice day. Enjoy of this wonderful city. I hope you feel a progressive attitude, a good atmosphere, and always welcome to be back and to meet you and to host you. So thank you very much and have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. And the words I think he used there were green oasis of calm. I have tried to turn up as a green oasis of calm. Slightly lost my calm being late, but I am the green oasis of calm. And of course, really nice words, courage and perseverance. And that's the other things that always impress me every single year when I get to present these awards. So, on to the next bit, but I'm not alone on this stage. No, I am not, because I'm going to invite to join me now a very lovely gentleman from the European Commission, DG Move. He is Head of Unit Innovation and Research, and his name is Torsten Klimke. Please.
Thank you.
Look, I've got one of the, I feel like I'm on, Belgium's Got Talent, but I'm not. but it always feels very strange with these. So, a quick chat, if I may, sir, before we kind of, go into the revealing the winners. Last year, as I said, almost 3,000 municipalities responded to this call for better connections. Are you happy with this? Is that a good number for you?
Thanks very much, and good evening, everyone. And before I start answering this question, I had a very interesting chat with the mayor, and he mentioned the car sharing. Actually, it's a city where you have nearly no bike sharing, and he explained to me why. Because everyone has a bike, but very few people have a car. That's why they need to share the car, and they have their own bike. I found that intriguing. But 3,000 municipalities, so 2,999 others that joined as well, and all had their specific actions. No, it's great to see so many municipalities taking part in the campaign year after year. And especially now we pick it up again after COVID. But beyond the sheer numbers, it's also rewarding to see the campaign reaching out to the public and to so many people. So it's not only about the cities participating, but the people participating and the people thinking about sustainable mobility and acting on sustainable mobility. During last year's campaign, we reiterated our commitment to people and their needs by focusing on urban mobility that better connects people. Because ultimately, mobility is about connecting people. So it serves a purpose. It's not a bus running from A to B. It's people wanting to get from door to door. So the most important aim of the team, Better Connections, was to connect people. We also wanted to reaffirm the importance of multimodality to enable a more sustainable mobility system. Because again, we come to connections. When we connect different transport systems, different transport modes, including in particular public transport, walking and cycling, then we can create real alternatives to having to use personal cars, as I think most of us experienced coming here, because I don't think that many of us had to use the car. We connected many different transport modes. And it was fun. And most of us have, and that's another aspect, indeed, especially during the pandemic, used the possibilities of online ordering and home deliveries. So there's another perspective that we need to look at in urban mobility, and that's to add to the campaign a new focus on urban freight in our efforts to make transport greener, smarter, and safer. This plays an important role as well. So to succeed in making mobility more accessible for all, and at the same time improving safety and sustainability, we need a good plan to connect all the dots. Our main policy, the Urban Mobility Framework, together with the TEN-T regulation and the TEN-T urban nodes, is leading to a new level of sustainable urban mobility planning in Europe. And we're really looking forward to this together with all of you. We're really taking a big step, we believe now. But the main implementation action will always be at the local level. So, I mean, we can think about a lot of things, talk about a lot of things in Brussels together with you, not on our own, together with you. But it's always the local level that implements, and it's the local level from which we learn as well. So your feedback is very important to us. So through the campaign, and for example, we also want to support this with the new concept of mobility management.
Sorry, I don't have a microphone. You suddenly turned to me. I will speak now, but I shall speak. Interesting, because you are, of course, picking up there when you talk about local with what we heard from the Mayor of Ghent there, the actions that they are doing in really, really local in the various neighbourhoods. But this, I presume this term mobility management is an important one because you turned to me with great expectation in your eye there. So my obvious question to you is, now, given this year we have a new award, the Mobility Action Award, there's got to be a correlation between the two. How does that mobility management and that new award, where's the synergy? How do they fit together?
Yeah. Indeed, good question. And indeed, luckily, we were thinking about this, and it was not a pure coincidence that we came up with this. Because indeed, We had the Sustainable Urban Mobility Plan Award for several years. I don't know whether we had it for as many years as you were moderating. Maybe not. Yeah. So, it was great prize, and we had great prize winners. But we are coming now to a new stage of sustainable urban mobility planning. So, from a volunteering action, from something that was pioneered by many, we are coming into the links to TEN-T, to the urban nodes, into something that actually becomes an obligation, but a good obligation to many, many cities. But we have now a new element in the urban mobility framework. We have the mobility plans. And therefore, we thought it would be good, indeed, to similar like we did those years ago about the sustainable urban mobility plans, to award also those that already are taking actions in these areas. So therefore, a new award on mobility action. So this allows us, this new award, to recognize new approaches on the ways we access all the places that we visit frequently and in high numbers: schools, universities, workplaces, residential areas, sports and cultural facilities, retail areas, medical centers, tourist sites like this one here, or major event locations. So we want to award and raise awareness of the innovative work of companies, educational institutions, large event organizers, and others to who enable their visitors, their employees, their guests to travel more sustainable. So the new award aims to reward and highlight local access or mobility management plans, and to share experience and encourage others to develop similar plans. So we're looking forward to continuing this and to seeing new ideas in the future as well. This can be for large or for small transport initiatives that make a positive contribution to the way we move in and around our towns and cities.
I think that's a particularly cool new category of awards. I mean, it's excellent because it takes in, residents, it takes in companies, and it takes in, as you said, it's academia, the world of academia. So it's a really smart new category. I really like that one. But let's just look at European Mobility Week as a whole and just maybe spill the beans a little bit more for these good people on 2023 edition.
2023, indeed. It's 2023 now, and the new campaign is about to start. And this year, we want to address safe energy with a focus on how we can collectively make our urban mobility more energy efficient. So how can we move around and ship freight with using less fuel and electricity? There are many individual solutions, but also major common opportunities for all of us to save energy and to increase, for example, the use of public transport and active mobility. Again, as many of us have seen, I think, for coming here. Cycling will also be an important part of European Mobility Week 2023. Together with walking, public transport and shared mobility, cycling should be a focus area. We want to make the future of our cities greener and more livable. During the main week, we can expect cities and local cyclist associations to jointly organize very engaging and original activities. And many of you will have seen online, or maybe were even there during the event, when our Commission Executive Vice President Frans Timmermans announced that the Commission will propose a European interinstitutional declaration on cycling later this year, which represents a major political commitment to promote cycling from the side of the Commission. The campaign will continue to encourage rethinking at local level our use of limited urban space. That's a new focus that we realize we need to think about. The space is limited in the city. So how do we use the space in the best possible way for mobility and also for other purposes? And come up with measures to minimize car dependency. It's car dependency. We want to have alternatives, good alternatives. And also from the EU side, we will continue sharing and promoting such actions also with another edition of the Mobility Action Award. So the one going to individual organizations or companies. Finally, the theme of safe energy will, of course, support our common goal to switch from fossil to sustainable fuels. If we reduce the total amount of energy used and fuel used, This goal can be reached sooner. We use less, we can switch easier. Not only for our global climate, but also, and in particular, to reduce our dependence on oil and gas coming from Russia. And let me finish by emphasizing this aspect and our European support to the Ukrainian municipalities, all of which are impacted to different degrees by the war inflicted by Russia. And several of these cities, and it's really something amazing, still found the strength to demonstrate their long-term commitment to sustainable mobility and to participate last September during the war in European Mobility Week actions. So this really deserves our admiration and appreciation, I think.
Thank you so very much, and such beautifully comprehensive answers. We could actually have a fireside chat for an entire day, but that will annoy these good people because they want to find out who's won. Just very quickly in the room, because it's been talked about, who came here on foot? Who walked all the way? Who?
Train station? From the train station?
Who cycled? Who used a cycle as part of their journey? All of your journey? Yeah? Cycle, latecomer. And who used the train? And who flew in with a private helicopter? Nobody. Good. So, thank you very much for being so comprehensive and reminding us of, all of the important issues on the table and every single thing, not least EU policy, that frames European Mobility Week and these tremendous awards. And actually, that gives us the perfect segue into this next part of our ceremony. Thank you. You shouldn't sit down yet, because I need to say who you are. It's so fascinating watching the room, because you must know that everyone is captivated and in awe. It's really fascinating watching people's faces. This is our amazing sand muse. Her name is Colette de Dayne, and she took part in the 2021 edition of Belgium's Got Talent, and she reached the finals. And I think you can easily see why, and it's a great privilege to have her here to share her wonderful creations. Who is in awe? Yes. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Torsten. Oh, God, I've got to get back to him. So, all right, Torsten, back to you. We have, as we know, a fabulous new award category this year. You touched upon it. The Mobility Action Award. Anything else we need to know about its story and how it came about before we get to the critical part?
Maybe just to encourage all of you who haven't applied yet to think about doing so, because we really, there is nearly no limit. The organization that you're working for, the kindergarten that you bring your children to, the school, university, companies. So we are really looking forward to receiving applications from organizations who think about mobility for their organization. How does it work? How do people get to our buildings? How do they get back? How do get supplies to our buildings? And what kind of new ideas can we have? What kind of new plans to make this better? And better means more sustainable, greener, smarter, more attractive as well, huh? Because it should also be fun, huh, to travel. So that's the idea behind there, and we're really looking forward to good proposals and interesting proposals, your proposals in the future.
I love that. It's supposed to be fun travelling, isn't it? I love that you just add there. And also, as you said in your opening, it's all about connecting people in places. So all of that, part of that, this new award is critical in terms of, streamlining and making all of that possible.
Absolutely.
So, we're nearly there, but what about the finalists? Let us remind ourselves of who they are. So, 3 brilliant initiatives, just one winner, over to you.
And the Mobility Action Award 2022, the first ever of its kind. For engaging professionals from the public transport, cycling, social development and urban policy sectors, for its traffic calming measures, and for transforming a university car park into a green, pedestrian-friendly space. The winner of the first ever Mobility Action Award is, przepraszam, nie mówię po polsku, Metropolia, GZM.
Okay, there's
Come,
5
Mr.
million of you. Fantastic. Come to the stage. 5 million.
Yeah.
The whole team. You know,
Well done, well done.
I was told there might be
Congratulations.
one or two. Okay, come this way. Come this way. It'll make
Yeah.
for a better photograph. Come.
I go over here maybe with the prize.
No, your happiness is too big, and rightly so. So, here we go. This is the official person. We don't care about these. We do. Here's the official photographer. Kindly look at this gentleman first. You can all clap because it's a happy time. So, hold your horses, as we say. I'd love to invite you all to speak, but you know the drill. It ain't going to happen. So, the person who can make the most enthusiastic and emotional speech in 1 minute can have that podium microphone. Wow. Is it you, sir? There you go.
Yeah, maybe me. Thank you very much. It's truly honor for us. As you see, this is teamwork, really crucial day for us, because 1 year ago we are not awarded but nominated. Today we are awarded. Metropolis GZM, this is Katowice Metropolis, south of Poland. We cooperate with 41 cities and communes, and so you can imagine level of difficulties. But we try as the Ghent be a pioneer, Polish pioneer. Maybe soon will be also European pioneer. I wish this to everybody here, because we want to live in a better environment, in better cities, better places. Also Katowice, I have to say thank you to Katowice for cooperation with us, also for rector of the city of Silesia. Without them this success would be not possible. I have to invite you to visit Katowice University. Next year we will be Katowice capital, European capital of science, and this is, I hope this time, a new mobility project will be also implemented. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Take your
Thank you.
time,
Thank
take
you.
your seats. Do not break your ankles, but you may take your seats at the table. And now you can all take a breather. Less nerves, no? Less nerves, I think, I hope. Warm congratulations. I think in the history of me presenting this awards, if I'm correct, that is the most number of people who have come on stage for a trophy, and yet not one of you took it. Torsten held it. It doesn't matter. Warm congratulations. Thank you, and I certainly will be coming for a visit. So, I will be knocking on your door. Right, you have some more work to do with me, please, because we are going to move directly into the European Mobility Week Award. As for the previous award, let's just remind ourselves of who the finalists are. Great actions, very diverse. Over to you.
Let's open the envelope. All 3 cities really are places to visit, I think. So, European Mobility Week Award 2022 for its commitment to raise awareness on sustainable mobility, for working with 100 companies to open streets for people, and for its active mobility activities for all ages, and this wasn't a criterion, but for already having signed up to the Green City Accord, something you can do actually here as well, which is going far beyond mobility, so greening the city as such. So the prize for the European Mobility Week Award 2022 goes to Braga.
Just have a look at
Will I hold it for you?
Thank you.
Or you hold it. You don't give it away.
A far more modest number of women, you see, here. See, different lineup. Thank you. Just, I'm making my point, but, joshing. Over to you, please.
In 1 minute, I just say it's an honor to be here today and celebrate Braga's achievement in promoting sustainable mobility and co-creating synergies among various organizations to provide clean and appealing mobility options for our citizens and families. So thank you very much. And we look forward to continuing giving those important steps to a better future for everyone. Thank you very much.
Okay, congratulations, warm congratulations. And so we've just reached that part of our programme when I have great pleasure in inviting back our Sand Muse. amazing. And I can't believe you have to kind of sweep it away afterwards. I don't think I would be able to do that. But what this represents, and I think, and it takes us a little bit into our next segment, is indeed it reflects the hopes of the Ukrainian people, literally from the first day of the invasion, to rebuild their cities. And that's something that you touched upon at the beginning. But let's just take a slightly longer moment to highlight their story now. And so I'm going to ask you to just pick up the thread from where you left off. Thank you.
So indeed, in spite of Russia's continued aggression against Ukraine, 5 Ukrainian cities organized sustainable mobility awareness-raising activities during the week of 16 to 22 September of last year. And the European Commission is very pleased to present the jury's decision to give a special mention to those 5 cities, to Chernihiv, to Kamianets, Podilsky, Lviv, Poltava and Uzhhorod, the 5 Ukrainian cities that celebrated European Mobility Week in 2022. And maybe Lesha, you would like to join me up here.
So can we please invite the Ukrainian National Coordinator to join us? Thank you.
I'm very much honored to be here. Oops. Always happens to me. On this stage, and first of all, congratulations to the city of Braga and also to the university in Katowice. We all know, all who are here, we know how many efforts and dedication and political will is behind of such a success. If you allow me, I would like to say a few words about Ukrainian cities, but especially about one city that you heard today, about Chernihiv. For you to understand, Chernihiv is on the north part of Ukraine. It's 60 kilometers from the border with Belarus and also border with Russia. On February 24th last year, the Russian troops were immediately next to this city, and in a certain moment, on February 25th, they decided that they will not capture the city, but rather take another route to quickly reach Kyiv. This city was, during 1 month, was heavily bombed, also got many missiles. I have the chronology on this paper that I prepared for today, and I should mention, I don't know, February 27th, they reached with missiles the city center, the market, destroyed it. Another day, they destroyed the historical building of cinema, another day a hospital, other day a library, schools, and city infrastructure, including residential building. Why I am telling you all this information? Just for you to understand how difficult was it. So the city was in siege for nearly a month. You shall imagine that all the routes were cut off. They blown up bridges that connect Chernihiv to rest of Ukraine, and people were suffering. They had to hide in the basements. They didn't have electricity, and can you imagine, this is north of Ukraine, it was cold, it was winter, even in March it was cold. So the situation was very difficult. Beginning of April, luckily, the city was freed by Ukrainian defense forces, by Ukrainian army. And you shall imagine how difficult it was. So there was no public transport. The city infrastructure was heavily damaged. And 5 months later, in September, Chernihiv joins the European Mobility Week. You have seen the happy faces of people riding the bicycles. So they organized bike to work with a free breakfast. They organized bike rides to a nearby village to help with humanitarian aid of local villagers. They organized a social bike repair shop because they started to get bicycles from Europe as well. So they had to fix it, and the people showed up. So I admire these people that have this, braveness, courage to stay in the city, to survive through difficult times, and to show dedication to sustainable mobility. We are sure that we will win this battle, we will win this war, and definitely the future of Ukrainian cities and Ukrainian communities, if we speak about the sphere of sustainable mobility, is with sustainable mobility. So it is with the cycling, it is with the public transport, new modes, it is with accessibility for pedestrians. The price we pay, to get these changes is high. That's why we cannot lose this chance to make our country even better. And I appreciate all the support that European countries, cities, people, families provide to Ukraine in many senses, and including the bikes for Ukraine as well. So thank you very much, and together we win, for sure.
Please don't forget that.
Thank you very, very much. And you used pretty much the same words as the Mayor of Ghent at the beginning, courage and perseverance. And honestly, it's an absolute privilege to have you among us, and very sobering moment, and phenomenal that the cities and the symbol of cities can be behind this solidarity and this support. But we do have another video now, so stay with me, Torsten. I'm not kicking you off the stage yet.
Thank you.
Let's just take a look at a last video. Thank you.
In the Ukrainian cities, hit hard by Russia's brutal military aggression, the bike has become the independent way of getting around on destroyed roads. In just 6 weeks, we collected 450 bikes. But of course, Ukraine needs far more.
After the full-scale invasion, in few months we saw that bicycle is really essential mode of transport for many people. We also saw how people use bicycles even for evacuation, and we decided that we could start this campaign to help people who are in need.
Найчастіше велосипеди донатять як звичайні люди. Місцеві організації, вони збирають ці велосипеди, і ми організовуємо їх доставку з Європи в Україну.
Also we receive requests from the municipalities and even from the militaries.
Наприклад, зараз звільнився Херсон, і ми почали знову отримувати запити від Херсона.
And with this delivery we will reach over 1,000 requests covered.
Місто, різні організації отримало більше 70 велосипедів для волонтерів. Саме для нашої організації отримала 7 велосипедів, більшість з них в області, для волонтерів, які розвозять допомогу. По-перше, це екологічно, це економічно, на велосипеди не потрібно витрачати паливо і можна дістатись в труднодоступні міста. Велосипеди переважно використовуються в розвезенні гуманітарної допомоги, благодійної допомоги. Перш за все, це засоби реабілітації, це підгузки, це медичні засоби.
Ми відчуваємо цю підтримку і солідарність, завдяки тому, що люди готові пожертвувати і підтримати Україну тим, чим вони можуть, власне.
Be sure that this bicycle will be used by people who really need, and we really feel your support. Thank you so much.
Join us and take action now to collect bikes for Ukraine. We are with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!
Bikes for Ukraine!
Can I say a sentence on that?
Yeah. I don't think there is a single person in this room that is not highly impressed by all of the efforts of Ukrainian cities. And also, as you said, we are celebrating here the cooperation between Ukrainian and European cities. And Eurocities is, of course, part of this phenomenal initiative. And you wanted to add a couple of words, Torsten.
Lesja, who you've seen and listened to here, she actually kick-started us in Brussels, in the Commission, to start this initiative in her speech during the Urban Mobility Days in Brno. And if we can do it at the Commission, you can do it anywhere else as well, to collect bikes. We found so many volunteers. It was great to see their talents. You wouldn't believe it. Sometimes maybe if some of you are in Brussels and participating in meetings where you have interpretation into your native language, some of these interpreters actually are bike mechanics by training, because after work they came to us, to our garage, and helped fix these bikes. It was amazing to see so many people doing together so many good things and hopefully helping a bit in Ukraine. So please do collect as well in your cities. There's a webpage, Lesja is here, and collect bikes and help the Ukraine with bikes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your hard work. You are allowed to put your feet up now. And
thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure. You're so lovely and warm and spontaneous. Thank you so much for sharing the stage with me. I am going to bring this award ceremony very shortly to a close, but a warm applause for Torsten Klimke. Thank you. And so that, good people, is of course a wrap. I cannot close this year's European Mobility Week Awards ceremony without a nod towards the week coming this September, 16th to 22nd. You must know the dates in your sleep. The theme, as we heard from Torsten earlier, is Save Energy, and I think we can all agree that this is a theme that has already been resonating for some time, far and wide. It just remains for me, before you turn your attention to delicious food and drink, and let me not forget those lovely people online. I do hope that you are still with us, and thank you. May I also thank the European Commission, again, DG Mobility and Transport, for organising and hosting these awards. May I, of course, thank Eurocities for their support and the orchestration of these awards. And Juan, I have to say, you are the most professional clapper in the world. Amongst other talents. So thank you to you and Thomas and also Pauline. Thanks. Wow. What a privilege to our Sand Muse. That was a treat. So warm thanks to you, Colette. Thank you to the technicians at this gorgeous venue, and thanks to your audience here. And I was about to look online. I'll look online in case you're catching me there. And now, I do need to, of course, remind you, before you completely switch off, we are going to do a photo call, so we will need finalists and winners, and Torsten and you, Lestja. We need you to come to the stage for a few family photos. The rest of you, of course, please get busy on social media. #MobilityWeek. Share the love and the joy with the wider mobility community. That's it from me, your host, Katrina Sickle, who is now 105 years old after all the editions I've presented. It really has been a pleasure as always. Well done. Good luck in your ongoing endeavours. Stay safe. And who knows, when I'm 106 next year, I may see you again. So well done, everybody, and thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. So may I bring forward, you can all start chatting now, you can Can finalists and winners come forward, please? Thank you.
And thank you very much to you, Katrina, of course, while the music is already playing. Thank you so much for hosting.